The school courtyard buzzed with its usual morning chaos. Students chatting loudly, backpacks slamming into lockers, and teachers shouting last-minute instructions. But when the new girl, Lena Whitlock, stepped onto campus, the atmosphere shifted. She walked slowly, her pale skin almost glowing against her dark hoodie, clutching her books like a shield. Her eyes scanned the unfamiliar faces, hoping someone might smile. No one did. Instead, 3 girls watched her like hawks. Roxy, the cruel leader, Janelle, the jealous second-in-command, and Myra, who followed to stay on the safe side of their cruelty. Roxy nudged her friends. Another outsider. She won't last. Lena hurried inside, trying to stay invisible, but fate had other plans. At lunchtime, she accidentally brushed past Roxy in the hallway, whispering a polite sorry. That one harmless word triggered something ugly. The 3 bullies exchanged glances filled with malicious excitement. After the last bell rang, the girls followed her behind the gym, the one blind spot with no cameras. Where you think you're going? Roxy taunted, blocking her path. Before Lena could answer, they grabbed her wrists, ignoring her frightened pleas. They dragged her to a wooden post, tying her hands with frayed rope they found near the equipment shed. You don't belong here, Janelle sneered. This school isn't for people like you, Roxy added, yanking the knot painfully tight. Lena's breath trembled. She fought the urge to cry, not wanting to give them satisfaction. She stood helpless, her heart pounding, her mind racing. She thought of her many school transfers, her promise to her father to try again, and the constant hope that maybe, just maybe, this school would be different. But today proved one thing. Her difference made her their target. Yet the bullies had no idea that tying her up was the worst mistake of their lives. As Lena stood tied to the post, her wrists burning and her eyes stinging, she didn't realize help was already on the way. A freshman named Arlo had heard muffled shouts while cutting across the back path, and unlike the bullies, he had a conscience. He sprinted to the main hallway, breathlessly finding the one person who could help, Principal Harris. In seconds, Harris stormed toward the gym, his shoes pounding against the pavement. The moment the bullies heard footsteps, they panicked, trying to untie the rope, but it was too late. What, Harris thundered, is going on here? Roxy instantly switched to her sugary fake tone. Sir, she slipped. We were helping her. Move, he ordered, his voice like a blade. The girl stepped aside. Harris's face darkened when he saw Lena bound to the post. He rushed to her, carefully untying her, his hands gentle. You're all right now. You're safe. His calm tone only made the bullies more terrified. Then he turned to them, fury simmering beneath the surface. You 3 are in more trouble than you could imagine. Roxy tried again. Sir, we didn't mean. She was being weird. Enough. He turned to Lena, softening. What's your full name? Lena hesitated, her voice quiet. Lena Whitlock. The reaction was instant. Harris froze, eyes widening slightly. Something shifted in the atmosphere. Even the bullies noticed. Whitlock, he repeated slowly, as if confirming something important. As in Elias Whitlock? Lena nodded, confused by the tension. Harris exhaled sharply, not out of fear, but realization. He looked at the bullies, his expression now more severe than ever. You girls, he said, just made a very, very costly mistake. And for the first time, the bullies truly felt fear. The walk to the principal's office felt like a slow march toward judgment. Lena walked beside Principal Harris, still shaken. The bullies followed behind silently, their earlier confidence shattered. Students peeked from classroom doors, whispering as the unusual procession passed by. Inside the office, Harris gently offered Lena a seat and a glass of water. She sat slowly, rubbing her sore wrists. Roxy, Janelle, and Myra stood before the desk, staring at the floor, guilt and fear written across their faces. Then Harris spoke. Lena Whitlock, he began, is not just a transfer student. She is the daughter of Dr. Elias Whitlock, the man funding our school's new security upgrades, scholarship program, special education improvements, and mental health initiative. The bullies' faces went pale. Harris continued, voice sharp, Your behavior today could have put you in legal trouble. But beyond that, you targeted, humiliated, and assaulted a student for no reason. He turned to Lena, his voice softening again. I spoke with your father this morning. He told me you've moved schools multiple times because of bullying. He asked me personally to look after you. Lena looked down, tears forming, not out of sadness, but relief. Someone cared. Roxy swallowed. Sir, we didn't know who she was. Harris snapped. You shouldn't have to know her name to treat her like a human being. The bullies didn't dare argue. He handed each of them a suspension notice. You're removed from school property effective immediately, and the board will review whether you return at all. Then he turned back to Lena. You deserve better. And starting today, you will get better. For the first time since arriving, Lena felt seen. Not because of her father's name, but because her own strength had finally been acknowledged.